Hi, I'm Buddy Pidcock. I'm here to give my great speech, Freedom. Luckily, we don't have to feel that way. Now you must be asking yourself, what way? How should I be feeling? Or how should I not be feeling? And the way we are lucky enough not to feel is controlled. And we look around ourselves and we see other countries, and these countries are controlled. They don't have what we have in America, and that's freedom. And so, us as Americans, we're free, but sometimes we take it for granted. I'm an American. I have seen what freedom has done for my life, but it's sad because sometimes I've taken that for granted. I've forgotten what it took for us to be free. And as humans, sometimes we need to be pushed or reminded, and sometimes we need leaders in our life to remind us or to teach us or to guide us or to push us. And this leader that I want to talk about today is Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry, in an old church in Virginia, pushed the movement of freedom. And because of his efforts and because of what he said, we get to enjoy the fruits of his labors. We get to enjoy freedom. And so as I continue my speech, I hope that you have a better understanding of what his speech did in that time and what immediate effects took from that and how it pertains to your life today. And so I want to start back in March 23rd, 1775. Leaders and guiders, these people that I talked about, they in their time met in this old church, and they discussed what needed to happen, what was the future. Because these people in this time, America was under the reign of Britain. And we needed to change. We no longer wanted to live in the shadows of Britain. And so something needed to change. And so as these leaders came together, they discussed. They tried to figure out what was going to be the best option for them to overcome this. And ultimately, a voice was heard. And that voice was Patrick Henry. And Patrick Henry, small but powerful, gave the speech, "Give me liberty or give me death." Now his speech was heard around the country. This speech motivated. And they all knew what the end goal had to be. They all had to eventually fight for our freedom. They had to fight so that we could enjoy what we have today. And as we know, many lives were lost, but no lives were forgotten. We know that war after war, battle after battle, we eventually became victorious. Now, I ask you to take a second and just think, if that were to happen to us today, what it would take. Now, that would be your grandpa. That would be your uncles. That would be your dad, your brother, your husband. It would be those closest to you that would go and lay down their lives so that we could enjoy our freedom, so that we were no longer under the control of Britain. Now, at this time, Britain was the strongest army in the world. They had the strongest navy. They had the strongest army. America was an uprising country. We had farmers. Now, it's interesting to think because us farmers, us Americans, we did not have the same training that the Britain armies had. We did not have the same material. We did not have the same resources, yet we ultimately became victorious. And that's because we were fighting for a purpose. We were fighting for a cause, and this cause was for our freedom. And so the immediate effects that came from his speech was this surge, was this motivation for people to come together to act, to fight for our freedom, to eventually give us our freedom. I hope you take a second and really take that to heart to understand the cost it took. That speech motivated everyone to act. But everyone knew that it was coming at a price. And so for me, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for what I've been given. I'm lucky enough to already live in a free country where I haven't had to go and give up my life to fight for what I believe in. And so this speech has made me more patriotic, has made me more thankful for what I've been given. This speech given to me by Henry will now be with me for the rest of my life. Every time I think of freedom, I'll have to think of what it cost and what he said and those words that inspired those around him to act, to give up their lives, to lay down their lives. Now, I don't know about you, but it would be hard to just have these words motivate me. But those words were so inspiring that they were willing to give up their lives. And so for that, I'm thankful. You know, it's amazing. I live in such a country, you know, but it came at a cost, and I want to give thanks to those that laid down their lives so that I could have my freedom. And I hope that you, from this takeaway, are able to understand that cost that it took for us to be free. And ultimately understand that we no longer need, or we cannot take our freedom for granted. And I just want to close with saying, you know, Patrick Henry said it best: give me liberty or give me death. Thank you.